Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these, haven't I? So the last time that I've done a tier list of anything, I should say, was when I played through the entirety of the Mass Effect games, like a combo of on-stream stuff, and I believe that there's a little bit of me playing it off stream too. I don't fully remember, but I know for sure that the last tier list that I did was on Mass Effect and my favorite characters from that series. But if we're talking about tier lists regarding Genshin Impact, it would probably be, oh wow, how long ago was it? I think it's about 3 years since I've done one of these tier lists. It's been about 3 years since I've done that Genshin Impact tier list, and I think since then I kind of stopped doing them. Yeah, I believe I've done only 2 of them, although I think the last one involved Sumeru characters. I don't even think that it's all of the Sumeru characters, right? Because I remember Baiju was relatively new at the time. So I figured, well, it's been 3 years. I think enough time has passed it to where I could justify making a new tier list. So that's pretty much why I'm here, why we're all here. We're just gonna go and clown on my personal opinions. But hey, you know what? That's fine. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you don't. That'd be how I do sometimes, you know? Going off of this list here, yeah, I didn't realize. Hold on, how many characters are even here anyway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And yeah, we're also including the characters that haven't been released just yet as of recording this video. I think by the time that I do end up uploading this, it'll definitely be like within the release week. I do think so. Ooh, that's about 112 characters. Wow. And like I said, last time I even did any of this, Baiju was new. Well, ain't no time like the present, right? All right, so S, A, B, C, and D. And yeah, like I said, I'm probably just gonna go off of my personal opinion after playing this game since launch week. Should I go and make a different one, actually? There we go. I think that should be good. That should be good. So we got SS, S, A, B, C, D. I don't know if I would put in F, though. That's the thing. There's probably one character I would put in here just to put under F. Maybe just 1 or 2. I'm just going to put it over here just in case, though. All right, so let's get started with the twins. Yeah, the twins right over here. The characters that we get to play as for the first time ever since the year of our Lord, the decent years of 2020.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, well, I can't really say that either. I believe when I did that 1-year anniversary video on Genshin Impact, I believe I stated my... Well, I'll be real. I had some harsh words regarding the Traveler in that time frame, but ever since that video came up, and we've had far more Archon quests and story quests to dive into that we delved into from Sumeru all the way up until it was, I think, by Nodcry especially. Well, I guess it wouldn't be until the 5.x patches that we started to get far more info on the Traveler. Both of them, I should say. And they eventually did become characters of their own. But I did mention that characters themselves during the 2.x patches and during the 1.0 to 2.0 patches, it didn't really seem clear as to whether or not they were supposed to serve as their own characters or serve as the avatar for players. But I guess as time would move forward, the answer became far more clear that they've pretty much become their own characters, even to the point where they got their own voice far more often compared to the earlier patches. So with that said, though, I don't remember where I placed them the last time around, but I do think that they've improved enough for me to say that Aether goes on A for Aether, and then yeah, Lumine over here S, because I'll be real, I just like the design of a Lumine far more compared to Aether, and doubly so for their other costumes as well that they would get during Nodcry. For those of you that haven't played the story just yet, I won't say how they look, all right? So just to like make things easier on everyone. Jean, it's been way too long. I have to like remember exactly how Jean was portrayed as. I know that she's a bit of a workaholic. You're gonna see a pattern on this, trust me. I don't think I have that many negative comments to say about Jean. I don't really think so. She's just trying to do the best that she can, given that the actual Grandmaster of Mondstadt wasn't present at the time. So it just leaves Jean to become acting Grandmaster. The funny thing is, gameplay-wise, I think that she's found new life in the Stygian Onslaught. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. Because apparently, like, for a good while, she was meta for a long time, especially with the way that the damage values work for gravity. I think as a character, honestly, I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle. So I would say like in B tier. I think B is like, it's probably the best way to put it there. Lisa. First love. This is my first love back when this game first came out. You know, I always have this saying where you never truly forget your first love. And I think even after so many characters have come out since 2020, I still haven't forgotten Lisa. Granted, I don't play as her anymore. I don't really use her in any of the team comps that I've used back in, like, ever since Fontaine. I think Sumeru, I believe I've used her at least once or twice, but ever since then, I haven't really found any reason for me to go back to Lisa. Mainly because I have other better Electro users, I have better support users. But with that said though, just her design alone, just like, it does something for me then. So she's gonna be put in A. Amber! Much like Jean, I don't think I have that many negative aspects and any like negative criticisms that I have toward Amber. I mean, she is like the first character that, aside from the Traveler and Paimon, is the first character that we do see when we get to Mondstadt. But it's like, personality-wise, it's not unique. But so I'm just gonna like, put it right over here. Excluding gameplay, because gameplay, I know that there's people out there that main Amber like it's nothing. Like, they pretty much just make her work. But that's just like, me personally, that's just the exception, not the rule. So yeah, this is gonna go to C tier. Noelle. Ooh. Yeah, so one of the first gacha characters that you do get when rolling, it's guaranteed, unless for some reason you're one of those weirdos that just wish directly to the limited banners. Damn, Noelle. Again, it has been a while, but I do remember using her far more compared to a lot of the other characters, especially within the first year. Yeah, honestly though, like, her gameplay is kind of fun, last I recall. It's not the greatest, especially when you have to consider her very long cooldown, and her shield is just so situational. Like, I don't think it was that useful, but she was fun to play. And then her demeanor, like, I'm just a sucker for this, man. You know, little girl, big sword, shit, that gotta be one of my favorite genders. So that said, yeah, I think I'm comfortable with putting her on B. Yeah, or A. No, I don't know. I don't want to put Noelle on the same bracket as Lisa. It just seems a little too weird. So yeah, B. Barbara. You know, there is just one thing I do hate about Barbara, and it's nothing to do with her character. Her character is fine. And we're not going to talk about the voice change within 1.0, or is it 2.0? Regardless, there's this thing I remember where you would get frozen so easily if you use her skill. So so that's already off to a bad start, personally speaking. But I don't hate Barbara either. She's not like D tier or F tier, but I do think that she just exists. I do like her summer alt. I do think that's cute. And the thing, you know what, the same thing goes with Jean's alt as well. Like that one was also kind of cute too. But for this though, no, I think C is fine enough. Aside from her healing, I don't think I've ever ended up using her as much the moment I got Xingqiu, which we'll go over later on. Sucrose. Okay, yeah, her. Very versatile in terms of gameplay. I remember that for the longest time, she's been a part of my teams for a while. I believe up until 3.0? Either like the 2X patches or the 3X patches. I know that once I did eventually get Kazuha, I did end up switching over from Sucrose to Kazuha because he was just that good for doing the same thing. She is a bit of a cutie patootie. I do like the hair. I know for a fact that I like her design. I'm just shocked that she hasn't gotten an alt just yet. It's been so long. I mean, Benny got an alt, Xingqiu got an alt. It's about high time that Sucrose gets something. I don't know what. She's got to get something. So I think A. I think A would be most appropriate because I feel that her design is pretty good and her practicality in terms of being used in a team, it's incredible. Oh man, official. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Because at the time, I really, when the game first came out and I did get official, I remember loving her design and her personality. As someone who really loves Rika from Love Chunibyo and also Yoshiko from the Love Live series, I have a bit of a personal fascination towards Chunibyo-like characters, and official is no different at the time. Personally speaking, though, design-wise, I like it. I think from the 1X versions, though, I think it never went beyond fascination. But it wasn't until the summer event that included her, Kazuha, Mona, and I think Jinyan, that I went from liking her to loving her as a character. More so compared to a lot of these other characters that have come out before and since. And yeah, I think that regarding the characterization of official during that summer event, it's gotta be ooh, wait, do I put her on S tier actually? Ooh, damn. Let me just put her on A for now, and then I'll get back to this one because we have Mona. Had it not been for her outfit, I probably would have put her on C. But because of her outfit, you know, the funny thing is, even with her quote-unquote censored outfit, I'd argue that the censored outfit seems more risque compared to her regular outfit. It might be because of certain design cues that are prominent in said skin. But all around, I feel that this character is just fine. There's definitely potential of her being far more than what she is right now. But at the present moment, with the Hexenray stuff that's going on, I feel that there's probably going to be far more, and I probably would put her within A rank, but I think as it stands, it probably might be around B. Kaya, the Ice Bridge Man. I don't know if I even got his costume. Did I? No, I think I did. It's the event that involves the Klee, I believe. Anywho, I think he's pretty cool. He's one of the more interesting characters. I thought he was just being a little shifty when I first met him, that he has like far more to hide than anything else, but he's just a dude. He's just a dude that pretty much acts like that. But with that said though, his outfit does offer far more than what he's letting on. I would probably put him on B. Yeah. Even for team comps, he's like really good at what he does. Not the best, especially when it comes to like 4-star characters that we've had since, but he is definitely up there. D-Luke. If it was just his 2D art, I would say like right here, A. But they just had to ruin him with his default skin. The way that it looks, the eyes and face shape is just all wrong. It was made up for with his other skin, the only 5-star skin that Genshin has ever made, that Hoyoverse has ever made. I don't know why. No, I can't shit on him too much. I know that I've used him in the earlier patches, so I can't really say that much bad with him. He's really good at what he does. Do I put him on B or do I put him on A? Damn. Nah, I think I'd rather put him on B, actually. Yeah, I think B would probably be more appropriate for him. Razor! Wolf Boy. He just only has that one trick, and then that's it. That's pretty much all he has to offer. I know that his lore is a little more interesting because he was trained under Varka and it was taken care of by Lisa. So he's got that going for him, but nothing else beyond that. So, yeah, C would probably be more appropriate. Look at him. It doesn't matter how many years have passed, he cannot leave any of my teams. No matter what. Even for characters that apparently are functionally better than him, he somehow still makes it to the top. Because he heals it and applies pyro and does healing as well. Not fully, but like, brother. You can never avoid Benny, no matter how long it's been. I hate this man. I hate this boy. Anyway. Okay, but seriously though, given the summer patch that we did end up getting that involves Benny, I do like him. I like the fact that he is someone that has a history with well, again, I won't go into too many spoilers. I promise you. But I will say, after a certain summer event, I think my thoughts about him has gotten up a little more since the last time that I've done this tier list. So this will definitely go on A. Ningguang, rich, but actually deserves to be rich. She actually put the work, the time, the effort, all that jazz. And yet, for some reason, I can only amount to putting her on C. I think the only reason for that, though, is because I think, aside from the Archon quest, and ever since then, she doesn't really do that much. Unless there's something that I missed. She doesn't interest me as much compared to later characters that have appeared since then. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm putting her down onto C instead of a little bit higher than that. Plus, her gameplay it's fine. It's not bad. It's not good either. Oh, Beidou. If it wasn't Lisa, it would definitely be Beidou. Aside from her outfit and her personality, which I dearly love so much, what gravitated me towards her is her gameplay. I absolutely love the fact that she has that parry mechanic. It's just so satisfying to pull off when you do end up getting it. Like, it's great. It's honestly fantastic. I love Beidou to bits. Enough to put her on S, though? But then that means I would also have to put Lisa up on S, though, too, right? No. I think, and here's the reason why. Because Lisa has that love factor for me in terms of personality and design. However, there's an issue here, though. In terms of gameplay, I don't think she's that good. But I guess, to be fair, though, she's a starter 4-star character. So it's like, I do kind of get it. But the thing is, though, she's sub DPS, But this character can be a little more versatile. She could be main DPS, and she could be support. She can also be a sub DPS as well, if you pair her up with the right team. So really, she has like the three things that I do love about certain characters. She has the personality, she has the story, she has the gameplay, she also has the design as well. But what I'm getting at is that there's two things that I love about Lisa. There's three things that I love about Beta. And as such, this will definitely go on to S tier. Ka-ching! I don't know if it's because if I suck on this game or not, but I could never wrap my head around Ka-ching. Maybe it might be a refusal as to what I should be doing, or maybe I'm doing something wrong with her. But overall, it's an automatic C right here, but they should go any lower. The faux cat ears, and then there's also her outfit, which is a little better, but not by much. She's not that interesting, honestly. She's not F tier, that much I know for sure. But does she go on D? She's the original waifu character. One of the original waifu characters. I don't like her that much, that's the thing. And we're not just talking about gameplay, we're also talking about story and personality. Design-wise, she's fine, but if only a little boring, at least for my personal tastes. Yeah. Sorry, Ka-ching fans, but it be how it do, you know? If it's not Benny, it's Xiangling that comes in next. If you think that Benny cannot be avoided at all, Xiangling, nearly any polearm that comes out ever since her debuted could be viable for her. Ay vey. I still use her, believe it or not. I still use her. Not all the time. Not as frequently as, let's say, back in like a 2.x, 3.x. But she does come around here and there. I like her design, both the first costume and the second costume, so I can't really be too mad at that. So, yeah, she also belongs on A as well. Yeah, she's not S because there's only like a few things I do like in comparison to Beto, because I do like her design, I do like her gameplay, if a little like repetitive, but I don't think I like her story as much. If anything, I actually like Guoba more compared to Xiangling, if that makes sense. Now you might be wondering, because it's Guoba, you think she would go on S, right? Well, that's the thing though. This is Xiangling, that is Guoba. So yeah, they're two different entities right here, man. Sorry. Chongyun, there we go. I almost forgot about his name. You know, I never really liked his design, honestly. Him and his stupid ass MC Hammer pants. You know, good thing Mom isn't here to say anything because, well, otherwise she would just rip me a new one, saying that like that she likes the icy boy. Story-wise, he does have potential, but that's all it is. It's just potential. It's like a C. I don't think he's been that prominent in the in any of the story arcs, if at all. Like, he's there, but I don't think he makes as much of an impact, you know? This man, on the other hand. Hey, okay, well, how funny is it that I'm like, am I seriously considering putting in Team and National on A, aside from Chongyun? Am I seriously considering that? Yeah, I mean, I might actually consider doing that. We can argue about his design, because, like, who the hell is his barber? But gameplay-wise, he's, like, the most versatile of them all. Somewhat. The support potential is far more. Is, like, right up there with Benny and Xiangling and Sucrose. And I do kind of like his alt outfit, too. I don't hate it. Yeah, I think I might want to do that. Yeah, just put him up on A as well. Not necessarily S or SS, but a lot of his gameplay quirks in Genshin Impact far outweigh his design and his story. There's a reason why he's chosen so frequently, because he is as good as he is. Oh, Chi-Chi. Oh, boy. I think it's mainly because I don't have that many healer characters at a time. but I've come to like her a little bit. Not too much, but I do like her design. I do like her personality. I like the fact that she is a zombie and her backstory is like dark as hell. I feel bad for her. But I don't think I love her that much compared to, well, you'll see soon enough. I think B would be perfect for her. Venti, the one character that I wanted to get when the game launched but never ended up getting. At least until later down the line. What does it say about an Archon character that has been with us since 1.0 is still prominent in a lot of the games that in a lot of the other patches that he's in later down the line, and he's like one of the best parts of like whenever Mondstadt is involved. I think what carries him the most though is the voice actress that portrays them. Not just JP, but also EN too. Erica definitely does a fantastic job with Venti. Was it Erica? I think so. Yeah. I forgot which Erica it was exactly, but I know for a fact it is an Erica. It's like somewhere between B and A. I would say compared to Kazuha, though, yeah, the crazy thing is, gameplay-wise, he was only fairly useful back in 1.0, and even then, he had to be nerfed. Yeah, by 2.0, he would have been nerfed because of the weight of the enemies later on. Yeah, I think because of that, it might end up being on B instead of A. I was considering A, but I think because of the gameplay potential that he did have, it kind of became moot by 2.0. Klee, on the other hand, you know, the funny thing is, when I did play this game for the first time, I tried getting Venti first, but ended up not getting him until his rerun, I believe by 1.4 or 1.5. It's definitely one of those patches. But what I did end up getting, though, was both Klee and Chi-Chi. Both of them came home, eventually. In fact, if I remember correctly, I got Klee first, and then on her limited banner, and then over on standard, that's when I got Chi-Chi. It's like you can't have one without the other. The interesting thing is, I think ever since I did get Klee, though, I never really saw any reason for me to go and use her. Maybe the Hexenray stuff might end up making her a little more useful than she is right now, than when I had her at the time. But I can't really like determine that until, you know, I actually get there. But I can say that personality-wise, I love it. I can't really say the same about gameplay, though. That's the only issue. Though I will say, though, if I had to choose between Klee and Chi-Chi, I think I'd rather Klee than Chi-Chi. I think this is probably like the best way to do it. Child. Tartag, Tortellini, Ajax. I think there was only one or two opportunities that I did play as Child, and I don't hate him, but I didn't like him that much. And I'm just talking about his gameplay because, brother, you weren't there with the earlier dungeons. In the earlier dungeons, there's certain points where the timer for his skill was like double of what it's supposed to be. And if you know the cooldown of his skill, then you know how much of a pain it was just to get through that. So annoying. Design wise, I mean, he's all right. I don't. It's just Ed Sheeran, man. Same tier as her, though. No, there has to be something that I do like about him. I guess the one thing I do like about him is just his, not necessarily his personality, but just a teeny bit of his backstory, and the fact that he has like brothers and sisters that he's willing to fight for. So that's not much I can respect. Aside from that, though, I'm debating if I should put him on D or C. Though, yeah, that's the thing though, because I did mention just the one thing, but that is it. That's it though. It's just the one thing. It's not necessarily just a combination of a few other elements that I could think of that would make him go up a tier instead of staying in D. So, yeah, I might have to stick him right there on D. Diona. It's just a cat. Just a cat. But a really cute one at that. Yeah, I think C. She's, well, skills are situational though. But you can use her. Nah, I think C. This got into the hand. Oh god. Okay, funny story about him, and it's just a personal thing. Again, y'all weren't there when Zhongli. I don't think any of you realized just how big of a deal Zhongli really was back then. And I'm not talking about his trailer. I'm talking about what happened with that character. It's a very long story. I think I'm just gonna put like some text over here on the screen just to further elaborate what's going on here. But the fact of the matter is, let's just say that when he first released, he was not the powerhouse that he was right now, and he still is by comparison. Granted, there were some things that are like that go around his skills, but for the most part, he is powerful right now compared to how he was initially. With that said, though, I did not care about any of the controversies that were surrounding Zhongli. All I cared about is the fact that, man, that voice though, Keith Silverstein sells Zhongli. Like, it's remarkable. What does it say about a character whose voice is so good, you just ignore everything about what happened back then? That speaks about the man's talent. And as such, am I gonna put him on S tier? Is that something that I'm willing to do? Either S or very high A. Nah, I'm putting him on S. Yeah, I think S is appropriate for Zhongli. Jinyan! Wait, was it for Jinyan? I think so, yeah. I could be mistaken, but anyway, but yeah, her. In a similar boat with Zhongli, but for completely different reasons. I did not care if she was like bottom tier in terms of gameplay. Design-wise, I love this aesthetic. I love this. I'm a huge sucker for this, man. It's just too bad her gameplay is like dog shit, man. By comparison to a lot of the other, to even 4 stars, her gameplay was just utter dog shit, man. And honestly, that just pains me to say it too, because I love this design. You can make her work, but it takes so much time and effort to make it work. And even then, mediocrity is all you're gonna get. But damn it, man, I'm putting her on B. F all the haters, I love this. Albedo. Personally speaking, the only thing he's got going on is just the story and his role in the various quests that he's in. He's one of the more interesting characters that I've come to appreciate. But with that said, design-wise, it's like meh. Though that might be because it's a stark difference between his 3D assets and his 2D assets. Much like D-Luke, it's like there's like a massive difference between the two. It's not even funny. But honestly, I don't really think I care that much about Albedo that much, so I'm just gonna put him here on D. I'm sure his gameplay is fine, but the only thing is though, I never actually owned him. And I don't think I ever actually went out of my way to go and play as Albedo whenever he was available. I don't know. It's just something I never got to actually experience. And considering the characters that I did end up getting, I don't think I ever will. No. She is a character that I do like, but there is a future character on here that I think far deserves the S and SS rank. Ganyu is like... Okay, here's the thing. This character archetype is similar to what Keqing has, but I think the only reason why I'm willing to put her up a little higher up is because, personally speaking, as someone who has used Ganyu, I've actually like come to form an attachment with her a little more compared to Keqing. Plus, her gameplay is like, it's fun. Not the greatest, but I do think that for the time that she was available, she was definitely like up there for me. So yeah, I think B is good enough. I mean, compared to Keqing, considering like that she shares a similar personality trait, it's like, it's fine. Plus, that costume though. Edgy teen boy. Xiao. You know, I never really was a fan of his outfit at all. I don't think it's bad, but I feel like it's like a little too much, a little too try hard. Just reminds me of like the worst parts of the mid 2000s rolled up into like one. It's not bad though. I just think that gameplay wise, I do think that he is fun. I just don't vibe with his outfit that much. And this is coming from someone who really loves the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s aesthetics, but late 90s, early 2000s aesthetics, I should say. Hu Tao. We can make an argument about her story. Everything else beyond that, though, I mean, yeah, gameplay-wise, I do think that she is, like, pretty strong, but the only problem is Arlecchino exists. While I didn't get Hu Tao, I did get Arlecchino, and I think that Arlecchino does, like, has a far riskier... Well, okay, I can't really say far riskier, but I would say, like, gameplay-wise, they're pretty similar, and if I were to choose between one over the other in terms of personality, I would probably choose Arlecchino over Hu Tao. But with that said, though, Hu Tao does have like some very interesting lore bits about herself and her backstory. So that's one that I've actually like come to appreciate a little more, especially where the quests were concerned over the past like year or so. So I think, yeah, I think B would be appropriate for her. Rosaria. If we're talking about her initial design, as it stands, I think she's more closer to A, actually. If y'all know, y'all know. Given like what we know about her and her design, especially her design, and I'm not just talking about her first costume, I'm also talking about the censored costume that did eventually come down the line. I think that both of those costumes actually complement her in some way or another. Now, with that said, though, they did come at a massive cost, but all things considered, brother, this is great. Gameplay-wise, you can make an argument that she's not as good, but she was sufficient for what she's capable of doing. But I think that in this case, aesthetics far outweigh like whatever problems that she did have, whether it was her fault or not. So yeah, I think A would be perfect enough. Yan Fei. Well, there's a reason why I mained her for quite a long time. Yeah, and I think because of her quest that happened alongside some of the other characters here, like Yelan, Xiao, and I do believe Ito, that she ended up becoming one of the characters that I become more fond over. I don't think she's S tier, but I do think that she's like a very high A. Man! Oh, man. Okay. So, I remember one of my first wishing videos that I've made on this channel pertains to Eula. And, man, the crazy thing is, she's mostly just been useful up until, like, 3.0. I think by 3.0, I kind of stopped using her. And that's mainly because physical DPSs haven't really been that prominent at all. Or there hasn't been as many reasons to use physical DPS over other elemental reactions and elemental, just characters. But with that said, though, her design is just so fucking good, man. I remember when I first made the list, I remember loving her story, too. So, man, it really hurts too because I really do love her design. I love her story, but the gameplay itself is just so it's just so tragic. It's not as bad as Jin Yan's situation because like Jin Yan, she's pretty much just 6 feet under. At least with Eula, there is some use to her, but not as much compared to a lot of the other characters that came out after. Because that's what it was needed. That's pretty much what was demanded of the meta for the time. I mean, shit, it's still going. Do I go for the aesthetics or the practicality? The aesthetics or the practicality of it all? Oh, it so hurts, man. I really do love her lore. I really do. And I love the fact that she's trying to change for the better, especially after her quest. Like, she's trying so hard to become a different person. And given the subsequent quests that we did end up getting ever since I made that last tier list, she has been doing a whole lot better. Oh, right, I forgot. Yeah, she did appear in that one Mondstadt quest not too long ago. Fine. I guess I can go and, like, put her right here. Yeah, I'm doing it. I think it's because, like, her design is just so damn good, man. I just can't help it, man. The kazoo! We can argue about the design, but damn it, the practicality behind him is just too good to ignore. Even after his release, he's still so prominent in the meta. Like, it's just insane. Like, he's pretty much just a better Sucrose. And lore-wise, I think he's a good one. He's good. He's not great, but I do think that he is up there. He's not S. He is A, though. Kamisato Ayaka. Okay, so interesting story about her, personally speaking. I didn't get her in my main account, but I do have her on my second account. Again, I'm not going to go into like too much on that one because like I think I've already told this story so many times, but I'll just leave a link to the video like somewhere around here. I don't know where it is, but I just know that like you got to see it for yourself. But gameplay wise, yeah, she is like, damn. I almost wish I got her during that Eternal banner that was happening at the time. But no, I decided I just wanted to save my stuff for something else instead. But I suppose that's just how it is. Story-wise, she's only alright. Design-wise, I do like her design. Not fully, because I think there might be like a quirk or two that I didn't really like all that much. But I like her. I think right there on B. I think the only reason why I'm putting her on B is mainly because, yes, I did have her at some point, but not to the point where I would consistently use her all the time. Yoimiya. God damn it, man. Meta-wise, I don't think she's as... Her kit is just so confusing. Like, a lot... Because, like, her ultimate just benefits characters that are around her, not when she's like there physically. And then her skill is just like you have to be there at all times. But god damn it, that smile, that goddamn smile. Plus, I also made a video on this as well. Her story quest was so good, I ended up spending money on it for the first time. That isn't just Welkin or BP. Yeah, I'm putting her on A based on principle. Her story quests were so good, I actually have no choice but to put her on A. Sayu. I mean, she's just there. I know that she has a fan base, but personally speaking, this kid just ain't it, man. Is she as bad? Is she as, like, disappointing as her, though? I almost want to put her over here, honestly. I don't really like her design. I know that she's a mini ninja, but nah, I think I'm good with her here, honestly. The Raiden Shogun. I've said my piece with her. Let's just ignore the story, all right? Because I've already voiced my opinions on this one. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just talk about her aesthetics and her gameplay, all right? You know, the funny thing is, she would eventually become outclassed by other Electro characters. namely characters like Cloran in terms of like DPS. But I will say, design wise, say what you will about like her overall design, and that is not becoming of a shogun. But personally speaking, I'm I'm more receptive towards the outfit. I'll be real with you. I don't think it's perfect, but I do think that it's great. And as such, I'm gonna put it right over here on B. Again, I already said my piece with the story. I'm not gonna repeat it here. All right, y'all know how I feel about the Raiden Shogun and in turn a lot of the Inazuma Art Conquest. Talk about wasted potential. Poor Sarah. Oh my god, I feel bad for Sarah, man. All the Kujo Sara fans are out there are just like, they're in shambles if they haven't been just yet. And her gameplay's not even that good either. She's like hyper focused. She's like so situational. It's not even, it's like a worse Bennett even. And her role in the Art Conquest, man. I like that she has that little thing about her being a fangirl of the Raiden Shogun. I mean, I thought that's cute, but man, like I don't know. This just ain't it, man. I'm like debating if I should put her on F or D. There's that one thing I do like though, again, and that's just the fanboyism that I mentioned, but I also like her aesthetics too. I do like her outfit and her design, overall design. I think that like she looks cool, and I do like her cut, but there's nothing else beyond that, man. So yeah, D it is. Princess Jellyfish. Some of you have seen the video. She could have been so much more, and I think if she probably would have benefited from a rewrite. In the story, she barely has much to do, and the ones that she did end up doing though, there's far more, man. But I do love her design. I do like her gameplay, so that kind of saves her from D, and I'm just gonna put her up on C. You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. So this is going to be a little bit unfair because I do have the character. I did make a video on her, by the way. But I think I concluded that even if one were to make her as viable as possible, there's just far more capable cryo characters out there compared to Aloy. So even with the gameplay aspect, it's still not that good. But is it fair for me to even put her on F given the circumstances though? The interesting thing is, I like her design in Genshin, though that said, I also do think that her design in the game that she did come from looked decent. It just looks nice. But with that said, the design in Genshin feels a little off. Though again, it might be because of the style. But given the style, though, I would still put her in D. I don't think it's fair for me to put her on F tier because of the situation that she's in. Toma, the house husband. He's only lucky that his outfit is as good as it is because gameplay wise, it's situational. Not as bad as Jinyan's, but man, you can still find some versatility behind it though. That much I can say for sure. Story wise, something okay, honestly. I don't think I could ever come up with anything that like too bad, honestly. So yeah, I think a C would be good enough. Oh boy, Ito though. Whoo boy, Ito. Where the hell do I put him though? Yeah, A. The personality that the ENVA gave him was just nothing short of magnificent. Pretty much just feels like it's a Zhong Li situation. The voice actor just gives the soul, the spirit of Ito. It's just far beyond perfection. I would say it's like Max Middleton was born to play Ito. It's amazing. Honestly, amazing. Design is also pretty good too. I would have gone with a little more muscle mass given his stature, But honestly though, the personality just like overshadows a lot of things. And honestly, the gameplay itself is also pretty fun too. I actually do love his Unga Bunga style of gameplay. Like, no thinking, just keep on holding the button. Goro. Yeah, I'll be real, he's not that interesting. It's just like, it's just a femboy, bro. I don't have a problem with femboys inherently, but there's just something about him that irks me. Shenhe. Man, Shenhe. Those hips, though. God. But it's unfortunate, then, that her gameplay is as it is. Because, like, I think for Shenhe, it's situational as well. You need to have at least one other cryo character. And even then, that cryo character better be something like Risley or especially Ayaka. That would probably be far more useful for her. Though I will say, the design barely edges out the gameplay, though. Story-wise, she's not that interesting. But I won't say that it's like that it's bad. Yeah, right here. I think just her design alone, it just keeps her from C. Yunjin, I think. The personality definitely keeps it from being C. Gameplay-wise, I don't think I remember her gameplay all that much. Doesn't she also parry similarly to Beidou? But I think her parry mechanic is a little different, though. I don't think it's as satisfying to pull off compared to Beidou. I'll put her in C. She has a really good singing voice. The actress that does her singing. Yay Miko. It's a love-hate relationship with her. I do like her design. I don't think I like her personality as much, mainly because of like the way that she acts, the way that she talks, the way that she thinks that she's all high and mighty. Someone needs to bring her down a peg or two. I really hope that someone like Alice could just show her place or whatever. But with that said, yeah, B. It's just a simple B right there. Ayato. I only know that he's just a good Hydro character up until a certain point. He was eventually overshadowed by one other character that we will see at some point in the future. For now, though, again, I never actually got him. And I think like his design is only okay. Maybe a little confusing at one point or another, but yeah, I think a C should be just fine enough, actually. Yelan, though. Yelan! Love the outfit, and I especially love her other costume, too, that she did eventually get. Just something about her just oozes. Like, whatever I love about it. It's like A right there. You know, it's interesting that Kuki Shinobu is still in my team. More specifically, regarding the Lunar team that I have with Nefer and Lauma and Columbina, because I think there's not really that many other characters that I do have that would apply Electro more frequently that isn't the Raiden Shogun or Fischl, because, well, Nefer will probably be the better choice to have, but I don't have Nefer, so I can't really make a team about that. But regarding Kuki Shinobu, she isn't as interesting compared to Ito, but I do love the dynamic between Kuki and Ito. So there's that. Here's something that I will mention as well. Just let's just put these two side to side. These two are like ninja characters. This one, and then the other one as well. But I just feel like that this one executes the ninja aesthetic far more compared to what Sayu is capable of doing. I think it's mainly down to the design of Sayu that I didn't like as much compared to Kuki. So I think as such, yeah, she's gonna be right up here on A. Heizo. You know, thank God it's my list, because otherwise, if this was a certain someone that I know, he probably would be all the way up to SS. And I'd say that's valid. But it's not her list. It's my list. You know, gameplay-wise, I actually had a ton of fun just playing around with Heizo. I don't love it per se, but I love the style and flashiness of his fighting style. Even aesthetically, I actually do like it, except for his pants. That's the only thing that I have a contention with. Why is the pants like that, man? Like, you couldn't just choose a matching color? And then story, personality, I mean, I like it. I don't love it, but I do like it enough. But I think gameplay carries him far more compared to every other aspect, personally speaking. So I think an A is probably fair enough. Tainari. I don't know what you want me to say, man. I do have him, but I barely have any reason to use him. I'm sure his gameplay is fine, but I just can't be bothered to use him in any team comp I could ever find. Period. I really can't put him on F, though, because, well, he's voiced by Greg Heffley. How can you say no to that? So, D. Kali. I hate her gameplay, and she's so lucky that her design carries as hard as it does. So, yeah, C, right over there. The funny thing is, I would rather use Kali first than I ever would with Tainari. That's the crazy thing. Dory. Interestingly enough, it's the Luna patches that carry her compared to when she was first unveiled. If this was like 3.0 or so, I would probably put her like in C tier, maybe even D. But because of her development in the Luna patches, I think she would go up on B. The only reason why she isn't any higher is mainly because of her gameplay. I don't like it. I just don't like her gameplay. Period. I'm sure there was something wrong I'm doing, but I just can't be bothered to do more when I have other characters I'd rather be using. Sino. I think there's only 1 or 2 times that I've ended up using Sino, and he's only okay, but again, he's been overshadowed by other characters eventually. Aesthetically, though, like, he is just such a good character design, man. I love it. And then story-wise, he's a very punny dude. B or C. His design hard carries, and so does his personality as someone who's appreciative of the punny way. Alejandro carries him. That much is for sure. Yeah, I think B would be appropriate. Candace. Man. Gameplay is only alright. It's very situational, but it's only alright. I try my best to try to use her as well as I could, but it barely works. But damn, though, that design, again, it's all about design for someone like myself. I don't think she's on the same tier as Sino. You could make an argument that Sino's gameplay is like better. As for Candace, though, I mean, look, she is a 4-star, so is it really that fair to compare gameplay? Look, I imagine so, mainly because there's one other character here that we're gonna have to talk about at some point that may contest to that. So I think with that said, yeah, it'll have to be C. Yeah. You. I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. I think it started with an M. I like her design. I did think her story is interesting, and I did like her role in the Archon quests. And again, though, I never got her, so there was only like 1 or 2 times I did end up playing as her, and she isn't the best at what she does at that time. But again, I'll classify someone else. Yeah, I think B is fair enough. Yeah. Nahida, though. Ooh, man, oh man. I remember putting Nahida up fairly high. I don't remember if it was S or SS, though. That's the thing. I think definitely for sure she's a guaranteed S, but I don't know if she goes beyond that. That's the issue. I might need to think about it a little more, but if we're talking about the story, then I would say that it's an easy S. Design-wise, same thing, and gameplay-wise, again, at the time, she's probably like one of the best. You can also argue that she's probably the best, period, given her application. I want to say keep her on S, and then I just get back to this conversation. So, really, Fischl I gotta revisit, and Nahida I also gotta revisit too. Layla. Aesthetically speaking, I like it. I do like her appearance. Story-wise, I do think that she is one of the more interesting characters, and we have seen more of her in one of the other earlier story events. I would probably put her on... No, I don't want to put her on A, actually. Mainly because of her gameplay. Yeah, I'm starting to remember that her gameplay isn't even as good compared to other cryo characters. Scaramouche. I mean, again, if this was... thank God it's my tier list, otherwise... Oh, good thing she's not here to fight against it. I like his gameplay in the time that I have played as him. I didn't have him, but the fact that I'm even saying that says a lot. And I do like his personality and his role in the story. I think my biggest issue is that his design is good, but it could have been so much better. I really love his initial design. I think that's what's keeping me from putting him on S instead of A. Yeah, I think A would probably be fair enough. Because like his story is like far too good to like put him any lower than that. Faruzan Miku. I don't even think I've played as her enough to form an opinion on her. Aside from she's just old lady, but that's it. So there's not really too much that I can like dissect from that. So yeah, right here. I'll hate them. Much like Faruzan, I don't think I've ever actually... Yeah, I don't even have him. So there's only like 1 or 2 times I did end up playing as him, but it's like, again, it's not enough for me to even say if it's even good enough to rank him or not. I think aesthetically he's pretty good. Personality-wise, I do like the back and forth between him and a future character that we'll be looking at. I'd probably say put him on B. Yeah. Yao Yao. So 2 outfits here. If I recall correctly, I liked her first design. I don't know if I like the second design as much though. But man, she was also a long time coming. She was one of the earlier characters that was teased in an artwork, and we did eventually get her during the 3X patches. But I guess like in terms of characters though, in terms of the tier list though, I probably would stick her in C. Yeah, she's not that interesting, honestly. You know, the funny thing is, if it was just based on design, personality, just those, it would be an easy SS. Realistically speaking, she'd probably be under S. And that's mainly down to the gameplay that for some godforsaken reason isn't as good or as cool as it would have been. She could have been so much more, man. This is just wasted potential, but somehow this hurts far more than any other wasted potential around here. I think that's mainly down to the fact that this is a character that I absolutely love. And when it finally came time to summon for her and to get her and to actually play as her, man, I mean, she's still useful. I mean, I found some use for her, far more compared to a lot of these other characters here. But man, it hurts so much just seeing her gameplay and just thinking back, like, man, we could have gotten so much more out of this. But I'm still putting her on S. The fact that she's even here though is a testament. Can we delete a character? I really hate him. I hate him so much. His chocobo ass hair, this nasally voice, friggin' nerd. That's all I have to say, honestly. I'm sorry. I just kept that inside of me for so long. It's like I needed something let out, man. Man, I forgot his name too. I know it started with a K, but all things considered, gameplay-wise, I think he's one of the more interesting characters for a 4-star, no less. I don't think he's as versatile compared to the earlier 4 stars, but I do like his personality. I do like his character design. So I think Kaveh, there we go. There we go. I got it. It's Kaveh. Kaveh is only okay. I don't hate him. I don't love him either. So I would probably say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, sure. We just make him roommates. Ha! Kirara, the cat girl. Yeah, personality-wise, it's definitely bumping up to a B. Gameplay-wise, you know, the interesting thing is, I don't think I've ever actually played as her that much to form an actual opinion. I've only got her because I just wanted her in terms of, like, you know, adding her to the collection. Yeah, personality hard carries, the same thing with her design. But I don't think there's that much beyond that, though. So, yeah, I think I'll just put her in B. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting thing. This is going to be very interesting because Lenny is a designer that seems to be good on paper, but not necessarily one that I would say that, look, I gotta have him. I just don't like his stockings, period. So either his boots or stockings, one of those two. All I know for sure is that it just looks weird. Makes me feel things, and I don't like it. So, yeah, right here, D. Lynette, on the other hand, I think it's just a tier above, but nothing else beyond that. I don't think she's that interesting. Honestly, though, there isn't really too much to say on regarding Lynette, because, again, I don't think I've ever actually played as her as much to form an actual opinion. I know for sure that I don't have him, and I don't think I ever actually played as him. As for Lynette, I do have her, but I don't think I'm that motivated enough to go and play as her in terms of, like, you know, gameplay. Story-wise, it's only okay, and same thing goes with the story, well, and the aesthetics. Like, it's only fine. Fremine, the only thing that's saving him from D tier is just the animations, but that's it. So yeah, a C as well, along with Lynette. Nerviolette, story-wise, I think he's probably like. He's an interesting character. He's a very interesting character. Aesthetically, he looks really good. Even as someone who never got him, knows how much of a beast that Nerviolette is. I almost kind of regret not getting him, but hey, that'd be how I do sometimes, you know? I think with that said, though, I'll just put him up on B. Either B or A. No, I think B. Yeah, I think, like, in my heart of hearts, it'd probably be a B. Wriothesley, I probably would put him somewhere like in between B or A. And that's mainly down to his outfit, it's down to his personality, and also his gameplay. Gameplay, I don't think it hits as hard as it used to, but I do think that in terms of fun factor, it's definitely there. Yeah, I'll just put him up on A. He's a pretty good A. For me, at least. Farina, though? Ooh, boy, that's a story and a half right there. For those that played through the Archon quest, well, again, not gonna spoil it, but you know what I mean when I say that. So, she's already up on S tier right here, but does she go beyond that? That's the question right there. It is so strong, too. She had such a strong story behind her. Gameplay's pretty good, too. And she technically has 2 outfits, so... yeah, she's definitely going to be one of the first SS tier characters. There we go. She's just that good, man. Her, on the other hand, Charlotte. As someone who majored in journalism, I do have a bit of a bias towards Charlotte. So that much I can say for sure. But do I put her in B or A? Does that guarantee an A spot, or is she still going to be in B? The thing is, I actually never used her for gameplay, but I really should at some point. You know, just for fun. Try to change things up. I do like her design. She's not as interesting in terms of story, but I do like the aesthetics. So I think this is just bias speaking, but I'm definitely going to put her on A. Oh, man. I don't think I ever wanted a character as hard compared to Navia. From the time that she was introduced in the story up until her release, it was just a whirlwind of emotions, man. I just love her role in the story, man. Gameplay-wise, is just magnificent. I love it. Design-wise, it's just so beautiful for Fontaine. Yeah, SS. This is an SS tier right here. Chevy. I did play as her a little bit. I didn't like it that much, honestly. Might be a little too executional for me, but I do like her design. I really do like her design. I don't think she ever really made that much of a impact in story, has she? I don't think I remember that much. But I know for sure that aesthetically speaking, she is definitely fairly high on the list. But I think putting her in A is a little weird. At least with Charlotte, there's a little bit of a bias coming from it. But with Chevy, though, I think I'd rather put the Chevy Silverado right over here. It's just how it is, man. The Bird Lady. It's just Bayonetta, honestly. It's just Bird Lady, but as far as Bird Lady goes, I think B would actually be appropriate for her, honestly. I do like her gameplay. I do like her role in the story when she was once, you know, the actual bird. Yeah, I think B would be appropriate for her. Gaming! I don't think I ever actually liked them that much, honestly. Gameplay-wise, I think he is pretty fun. Aesthetically speaking, he's also pretty good. For the praises that I do give him, he's mostly all show, no talk, really. Like, I don't think I ever actually, like, jived with him as much, especially after the session. Like, I think after the summon session that I did do for him, he was only just okay. Like, so, I'll put him over here. Her, on the other hand, I like her aesthetics. I like the character design. I do remember playing as her, but I don't think I ever actually, like, fully liked it that much. Yeah, I think like a C right over here. I think she's only just fine. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Arlecchino. In recent weeks, I've actually like dedicated like time just to see if I can play Arlecchino. Like, you know, just build her and then put her in a team. And after about a couple weeks or so of like getting her and then just using her, yeah, I can see why she is very fun. She's an absolutely fun-ass character to play as. And that's just for gameplay. Story-wise, I mean, she's there. I actually do think that like she's one of the more interesting harbingers to exist that isn't Columbina, aesthetically speaking. Oh man. You know, there's something about her design that like speaks to me in a level that I don't think I've ever actually done for any other character. There's only one Arlecchino, and as such, she gets placed right over here. She's not SS tier, but damn, she is so close. Florand, design-wise, love her so much. I actually do like the hat that she has. Gameplay-wise, I do think that she's also pretty fun to do. She's also fun to play as well. Not as much compared to Arlecchino, but she's definitely up there. So I will just go and plop her down right here. Boy, what the hell is this little boo-boo doing here? She has the advantage of being cute. That's it. Sethos, design-wise, I actually do think that he's nice to look at. I don't think I ever actually played as him. No, because he's still low level. He's still fairly low level. So I can't really comment on that. I do like his story, though. I do like his design. But there's not really much beyond that, though. Is it appropriate to put him on C, actually? Yeah, I think with perspective, he should probably be put into C right here. The only reason why I remember Emily is mainly because of that one recent event, and that's it. I keep forgetting that she exists, honestly. And if we're going by leaks and all that, brother, the leak design for her was just so much better, man. I would rather that than whatever the hell we got here. I'll say this, she doesn't look bad, it's just that her design is just so forgetful, man. Honestly, I don't even know what her gameplay is. I'm gonna be real. I don't think I've ever actually seen any gameplay on her at all. I never even, like, even when she was available to play, she was never, the thought never crossed my mind to actually go out of my way to play as her. That's the crazy thing. So I never actually seen any gameplay of Emily at all. That's the crazy thing. Mualani, the very definition of friend-shaped. Why is she friend? She is friend-shaped. Yeah, I just like her design. I think her gameplay is a little questionable at best, but I do jive with her personality and her design. Story-wise, I mean, she's there, but honestly though, like, her appeal is just based on design and personality, personally speaking. She's just the Pacific Islander Amber, but better somehow. She's like what happens if we were to make Amber better. She's just new, improved, and that's all that matters. Kachina. The crazy thing is, I don't like her gameplay that much. It's fairly simple. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. But man, her role in the story and then her design too, it's great. I actually do like it. She's one of the better 4 stars that have come out recently. And do I put her on A, actually? It's either going to be A or B. No, her role in the story is like is up there. I think like her role in the story is like pretty damn good. She's not as complex compared to a lot of the other characters that we have here, especially where Farina and Navia are concerned, but she is definitely like a pleasure to witness. Kinich. Techie bro. His design is pretty good, and when I did play as him a couple times, he was pretty fun to play. But I don't think I could ever come up with anything else that's like beyond what I know right now. I think B. Yeah. The B would be pretty good. Yeah, they look so cute together, seriously. Shalonen. Hell yeah! Gotta be one of my favorites in the 4X patches. Sorry, 5X patches. I just love her design. And her personality and her gameplay. I mean, gameplay's only alright, and then her role in the story is also fine too. But brother, I'm a sucker for this. And to quote a famous person, I just love Latinas. That's all I could say. Chaska. Okay, so I have a personal story with her. Somewhat. Not too personal, but the fact of the matter is this. When her design was first revealed, a lot of people look at her and say, "What the hell is wrong with you? Why do you look like that? Like, why is her pants designed that way?" But I think more importantly, why are you white? And you know what? I'll be real. I was also on that same crowd as well. Not to the extreme degree, but I will say, like, her design just confuses me a little. Personally speaking, though, once I did get her and I did, try to play as her, fuck the haters. I love her. I don't think she's S tier. Is she? Actually? Oh, wait. I don't know, actually. No, because I like her personality. I like her story, especially like where the Archon quest is concerned. She's given an opportunity to be vulnerable and become as strong as she is. Retroactively speaking, aesthetically, I actually do like it. And then there's gameplay. Gameplay-wise, like, she could go toe-to-toe with Niverlet. That's the crazy thing. God damn it. Yeah, it's S tier right here. It's S tier. Ororon! He's only fine. He reminds me too much of a Final Fantasy character, but I don't hate the aesthetics, though. I think he's a better put-together aesthetic compared to Xiao, if we're talking about mid to early 2000s aesthetics. So I think this should be sufficient enough on B. Again, I do have him. I just didn't really play as him all that often. Mavuika. Fucking hell, yeah. Design-wise, it's honestly so freaking goated, man. Don't care about the haters. Don't care. I actually do think that she just looks so badass, man. Story-wise, I don't think she's as complex, but I don't hate it either. Gameplay-wise, I mean, the thing is this, though. I've only recently dabbled into Arlecchino, and I'm also just starting with Mavuika. And gameplay-wise, I might be too stupid for this one, honestly. I'm trying, man. But I have found some use for her, though. I just need to figure out a proper gameplay loop for her. But all things considered, though, there we go. All right, we're almost there. Just about 14. About 24 more characters. Sitlali. She's such a damn dirty simp. And I'm all for it. I'm not too crazy on Sitlali all that much. I know that I've used her in many other teams, but she's just a B at best. I keep forgetting she exists, honestly. Yunlin, I think her name was. I just really like her outfit, honestly. Everything else beyond that, I don't think I've ever actually interacted with her as much as I wanted to. So, yeah. D. Mizuki. Man, like the things I would do. Certain design cues just remind me of Morgan Anslin from all the Capcom games like Darkstalkers and all that. But with a far more Japanese aesthetic. And that's like something that I'm like a huge sucker of. Something that I just continue to fall for, honestly. I'll be real with you. I really need to find an opportunity to play as her. I really do. Yeah, aesthetically and personality wise, yeah, I think I'm just gonna put her on A plus, on A. Veressa, one of the characters that I kind of wish I got, because honestly though, her gameplay in the times that I have control of her, it's just so much fun. She's a little unga bunga, not as much compared to Ito, but she's up there. And yeah, I like the outfit, I like the personality, I also like a lot of other things too. But I don't think I love her. She's not S tier, she might be A. No, yeah, definitely A. Yansan. Is it weird for me to say that compared to when she was first introduced, Yansan feels like a downgrade? I don't know. I think it's mainly because of the expectations that I had when she was first revealed in that one trailer like a long time ago, around the time when the game came out. But I don't know, like something more could have been done with her. I think right here should be fine. Escoffier. I almost want to put her on B just based on the memes that spawned from her. But I think other than that though, I don't think I've ever actually used her that much outside of Risley teams. She's either going to be on B or C. It's one of those two. Yeah, but I do like her outfit, though, and I do like her hair, too. Yeah, I'll keep her on B. Yeah. Aoife. I seriously need to find a way to play as him. More so than I should with any other character. Well, not as much as Yume Mizuki. But I'll just put him right here. Skark. Girl, what the hell are you supposed to be? I know that she's significant to the story, but honestly, though, I could do without her, honestly. I'm sure that gameplay-wise, she's probably one of the best in her class, but I don't know. I don't think I ever really liked her design, honestly. I know that she's otherworldly, that's the point, but the point still stands. I'm gonna put her right here. Dahlia. Only reason that I'm keeping him from D is because of his skill. That's it. I think his skill is just it's just the freaking it's the holy water. That's it. That's literally all there is to it for him. Inefa. If this was pre Luna patches, I would probably put her somewhere on B. But because of her role in the story and the gameplay that we did end up getting, I think she's probably higher up. I probably would say like within A tier. Right around here. Oh, mama. That's another SS right there. And yes, I am biased as hell. Shut up. You don't pull for a character and just to like not gaze upon beauty itself. She's the one character that made me forget about all of the other love interests that I have with all the other characters here. Because like I said in that video, I forgot about, like for like one friggin' moment, I forgot about Eula. I forgot about Navia. I forgot about Shaska. I forgot about all these other women in this game that like, all I could see is nothing but Lauma. She's that captivating, and her role in the story is like fantastic. Her personality, love it. Gameplay wise, she is a support character, but as far as support characters go, yeah, she's pretty damn good, man. I forgot her name, but I know that she really loves Krumkake. I know that she really loves she really loves sweets. I know. There we go. Interestingly enough, as you may have noticed, I put a lot of the child characters or child-looking characters like somewhere like deep within the tier list here. Well, speaking of which, there we go. Sorry, I have to shoot her out back. I forgot about that. She's one of the more interesting characters. The one that actually has some flaws. She's allowed. I don't think y'all realize this, but compared to a lot of the other characters that we have here, not a lot of them have that many flaws. I know is one of the few kid characters that actually has some flaws, that she's allowed to act as a kid. That doesn't feel manufactured. That doesn't feel like it's semi-manipulative. This one actually feels natural. I don't know. I think there's a weird way of like of putting it. I know that there's probably a better way to describe what I'm feeling towards Aino compared to all the other kid characters over here that isn't Kusanali or Klee. This one feels like something a kid would do. On that note, I would probably put her on A, right next to Inefa. Flynn's. Aesthetically, I don't think I like him as much compared to Ororon, but I do like him a little more compared to Xiao, if we're talking about like edgy looking characters. So I think it's going to be appropriate that I put him right over here, because his story does carry. Aesthetically, he's pretty cool looking, honestly. Nefer. Gameplay aside, because I do think that, because as someone who has played as her, I really love her gameplay. It's fairly simple, but I do think that it's satisfying to pull off, especially if you know how to do the dance and time everything right. Design wise, yeah, definitely Sumeru coded. She's exactly the type of character I think of whenever Sumeru is mentioned. Well, maybe aside from like one or two aspects, but again, not going to lean into that kind of battle. But story wise, she is definitely there. She's absolutely there, like up on A. But does she go S? Yeah, I think S tier. Yeah, she definitely goes up on S tier. Durin. Yeah, we've seen this guy earlier on in the earlier patches, but he didn't look like this. In fact, he looked like a mini dragon. Honestly, though, no, he's not a bad design, actually. I actually do like his aesthetics a little. It's just his voice I can't really get over, especially his English voice. I get it. He is a bit of a relatively newborn baby, so to speak. But I wish that his voice went into a different direction. And I'm talking about EN. I don't know about JP or CN or KR. And I can't really comment on gameplay. I have heard that he's pretty damn good, but probably would put him on B, honestly. There you go. Yahoder! Man, she is just a muffin, man. I love her. I love her so much. Her personality alone carries her up to A. Design-wise, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, she does look like a homeless person, but honestly, it's fine. Given the work that she does, it's fine. I haven't actually played as her just yet, but I heard that gameplay-wise, she is kind of trash. But I don't think that's the point behind Yahoda. The point is all because of her personality, and that's it. And because of that, yeah, it hard carries her all the way to A. All right, boys, we're almost there. Jesus Christ. Columbina. I'm just starting to remember like all of the plot points that we were just going through with the Luna patch. She's probably one of the more complex characters that has ever been written in any of these games. She definitely gets a guaranteed S. Yeah, a guaranteed S. But does she go above and beyond? Man. Yeah, this is tough. Yeah, I think without going into spoilers. Yeah, this feels right. Jibai, I think her name was? I like the fact that she has 3 personalities, technically speaking. And I heard gameplay-wise, she's probably one of the best Geo characters in a long time. I think she's only okay. She's definitely guaranteed B, but I don't know if she goes anywhere beyond that. Just based on like what I know, what I experienced. Yeah, I think B would be fine enough. Iluga? He's a bit boring, honestly. A little dry for my tastes. I do like his outfit. I do like the head. I actually do not know about gameplay because I never actually played as him. There might have been one time when I did play as him, but to be quite honest, it wasn't that engaging. I don't think he's down here. I think he's like up here. Well actually, I don't know, actually. Damn. Damn. Screw it, yeah, D. It's about damn time we finally got Varka, man. As someone who's played the game since the very beginning, waiting for him has just been nothing but freaking like torture. And after all that time, was he worth it? No! Guaranteed an A, just based on his personality and his design. But gameplay-wise, man. Okay, I can't really say that because I did get him eventually, I'm trying to see if I can make time to go and play as him at some point once I get his shit all configured. But as it stands, I have heard some things, but I'm gonna reserve judgment on that until I actually go and play as him. But and then story-wise, yeah, he's pretty good story-wise. He's just a bro. He's one of the fellas. Yeah, I think S. Linny, I know she's one of the more. She's a new character. I think she's currently running right now, or her banner is already. No, her banner already passed actually. By the time that this video gets uploaded, the next patch would have already happened, and as I'm recording this, I think her banner already passed. I think currently it's Lauma and Nefer that's currently running. So, yeah, I didn't even encounter her at all. So, I can't really say anything. I can't really comment on anything other than just her design. And design-wise, man, she is adorable as hell. And from what I've heard, personality-wise, she's a ball of fun. So, yeah, right here on B. Okay, so once again, as of recording this, the special program has already passed, so we already have an idea on who Nicole, Lowen, and Prune are. So I think it's fair that we do include them as well. Now, with that said, I'm not going to comment on gameplay because I don't think any of us has ever actually officially, by the time this was recorded, has ever actually gotten a hand of it just yet, or at least like in any official capacity. Now we get to talk about unofficially, but that's not fair, is it? So all I can do with these 3 remaining characters is just comment on personality, story, and I do believe aesthetics. Man, Nicole is pretty as hell. She's so pretty. I love her. I love her design. Honestly, she has a personality to match it too. I think she's definitely one of the cuter characters in terms of personality. I love how like she's so infatuated with speaking. Like she's just like. I love the fact that she is as eager as she is just to talk about history. Like it's just so fascinating to me. I like her being happy. That's all. So yeah, I'm gonna put her up on A. It might be a little lower depending on her gameplay, but as it stands in terms of what I know about her so far, it's definitely an A. More than likely a B if we were to judge her gameplay. But again, assuming if it even comes out. It might change in the future, but as it stands, yeah, A. Lowen. You know, I really... I just fucking... I think it's because of the memes that I have seen of Lowen. I could never take this guy seriously. And I don't think that's even the case for in-game either. But he's good. But I don't think he deserves to be on A. I think he's more closer to B than he is with C. I don't think I know him too much to give him anywhere that's like higher or lower than a B. So yeah, B it is. And finally, the final character, player 2 Kusanali. Aesthetically speaking, I do think she looks nice. She looks pretty cool. A little bit of a badass. I've seen her animations. They look fun. But again, yeah. Story-wise, I don't think I could like judge her until I actually see it. Until I see her in action. Story and gameplay, I should say. I don't know if it's appropriate for me to put her up on B or C. It's got to be one of those two. I think C, and the reason for that is because, to be quite honest with you, I don't see anything else other than just a recolor of Nahida. It's just how it is, man. All right, now let's just go ahead and, because I did say I was going to return to both Nahida and Fischl just to see if they belong anywhere higher or lower, based on from what I've known. Thinking back on Fischl, given her role in the story in the summer event, she should probably be higher than A. All things considered, she definitely deserves an S. And I'm not just talking about like my biases towards Chunibyo characters. I'm just saying that in terms of her role in the story is one of those times where I think that as a character, she certainly has grown. She definitely has grown as a character. And then for Nahida, I remember giving her an SS up there. But with that said, does she deserve to be up with the rest of them? Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, she definitely does deserve to be up there. Alrighty, so, but we're not done yet. We are not done yet. So now, there's something I do want to do. Okay, I did not intend this, but yeah, there's like 5 characters on here that have the SS rank. But I think there's only one character on here that really deserves the GOAT status. Only one character gets to be on here. And since we have 5, I think it's appropriate that we have at least one of them up there. So right now on SS, we got Furina, we got Nahida, we also have Navia, Columbina, and Lauma. These characters, personally speaking, do a lot for me. Whether it's based on aesthetics, based on outfit, personality, story as well, gameplay too. They do a lot for someone like myself. There are far more characters over here that honestly could be interchanged in between the two, but I feel that these 5 emphasize just how much I really love these characters. But I think there's only like one character here that deserves the title far more compared to these 5. Now, with that said, I do want to preface this that they're already like the top of the top already. But the reason why I'm making this the GOAT of these 5, this one takes the top spot. They're all equal, but only one of them is more equal than others. Just saying. Okay, I'm gonna choose at least 3 first, and then we'll go from there. These 3 definitely deserve to be part of the GOAT tier. Both Navia and Furina have the more complex stories, and the same thing goes with Columbina. All 3 of them have like so much going on with their overall story and their role in the Archon quests. Whether it's going to be in a more personal level or in a level in which that it's within the nation itself. Gameplay wise, yeah, I mean like all of them are like pretty damn good too. I would say like if it was up to gameplay, Navia would probably be like at the top because I actually do love the way that she handles I absolutely do love her gameplay. Columbina is more auto. Same thing with Furina. Furina is far more autopilot than anything else. Honestly, both of them could be on autopilot. Honestly, though, I think this one's far more involved because you do have the choice between being support in terms of damage or support in terms of healing. She's like one of the few characters that actually redefines what it means to be a healer character. And you can make the argument that that Columbina is similar to that, but I mean, she does have that charge move where you do get to expend those points. In terms of versatility, though, in terms of like viability, Furina is probably like going to be appearing in far more teams compared to Columbina. Columbina, I feel, is more relegated to Lunar teams, and then with Navia, she's main DPS all the way. So it's like she doesn't really have that issue where she would have to be slotted into specific team comps. So I think with that said, but I really hate doing this though because her story like is that good. Same thing with Furina and Navia on a personal level, and then design wise, yeah, she does a whole lot for me. Furina, I would argue that she doesn't. But honestly though, like design wise, she looks really nice and befitting of an Archon, but well, given like who she is, of course, but it's not as strong compared to Columbina and Navia. There's the other thing about personality. Both Navia and Furina are like fascinatingly complex. Like you would think they would be just one particular thing, but given their roles in the Archon quest, that they're just beyond anything that I've ever seen in a gacha game. This sucks. This is so hard. But then if I look back on Lauma, I did mention that she was a heart stopper. She was just someone that in terms of design is just it just makes me go "Ruff, ruff, ruff, ruff." And Nahida too, like even her story is also a complex as well. I really do not want to like choose like between like these five and just become like one over the other. That's the only thing. Aesthetically speaking though, Nahida is certainly like up there, but I think like I would very much prefer the design of these three characters and especially Lauma. Lauma of in terms of design is like far well, okay, well, you can make the argument that it is like fan servicey as hell, but given like the inspirations that Lauma had, you could say that this is about as close as you can get without going all the way. In fact, at least based on what I've heard, Lauma is far more. This Lauma here is conservative compared to the IRL inspiration. That's crazy to say, like she's conservative. And then Farina though, like this shift. Oh, Faye. Versatile in terms of gameplay. Probably the most complex character in terms of writing. There's just a lot to love about Farina. Columbina too. This is why I don't really do that many tier lists at all, because it's very hard to come up with a definitive conclusion that makes me want to go, hey, so is there a character that I really wanted to put up on the top? It's like a quote that I read up a while ago. How could someone win if winning means someone loses? That's the issue that I have. I think it's safe to say we could put Nahida right over here on SS, because there's a lot to love about her in the Sumeru Art Conquests, but design-wise, I don't think I vibe with it as much compared to the other four characters here. Lauma is a character that I absolutely love in terms of design and personality, and her role in the Art Conquest is no slouch either, but in comparison to Navia, to Farina, and Columbina, these three, in terms of writing, is just so good. They're like so fantastic, given the material that they're working with. Lauma is beautiful, but in terms of complexity, it's not as good compared to these three. I'm not saying that Lauma's writing is bad. I'm just saying that in comparison to the aforementioned three above, it's not as good. And those three are like so freaking good. Like I don't think you realize just how good they are in terms of complexity. So that's why I'm putting these two over here, because there's like maybe one element that I don't particularly like mold with compared to these three that have all the best things about like what I love. I think, personally speaking, it's safe for me to go and put down Columbina right over here. Now look, I get it. Columbina is probably like one of the best written characters to ever exist in this game within the Not Cry patches. But here's the thing that these two characters have that Columbina doesn't have, and that's time. With time passing, they actually are able to become far more than what they were initially during those Art Conquests back in Fontaine. Because you do get to see these characters like return for future events, for future quests. Without revealing any spoilers, these two characters do end up becoming more than what the Art Conquests ended up letting them be. I think it's too early for me to say that she is in goated status when there's far more time needed for her to become more. Now, granted, though, we spent so much time in Non-Cry just for her to interact with nearly all the characters in Non-Cry. But the thing is, though, these two are given time and far more characterization beyond their need on screen. So with that said, of these two, which one do I actually have far more stronger feelings over the other? Yeah, I think now that I've gone to this particular step in trying to choose one over the other, I think if I'm gonna have to make a decision, I have to really take a step back and see what I love about both characters, because personality wise they are fantastic, gameplay wise they're pretty good too, Though I do like one over the other, and that would be Navia. Navia's definitely... I actually do like her gameplay far more compared to Farina's, which isn't bad. I'm just saying that, like, I just have a massive preference for one over the other. Story-wise, they are definitely some of the more complex characters. So are these two, but these two outshine them far more. There's a reason why she's in my teams, even after Fontaine. I think the reason why I would choose Navia over Farina, if we're talking about like which SS rank characters that I would love, is mainly down to how personal her story is. Like, you have to understand that Farina's is also personal as well, because I mean, as far as we were aware, she was just someone that was lifted up to become what she's not supposed to be. She was forced to endure so many centuries of trying to be who they're not, and it just like tears her apart from the inside. Navia, on the other hand, is far more effective in terms of writing because she does something that all these other characters don't have as much, and it's a personal story. I think it's mainly because we get to see what goes on with a character, how we see their day to day, how we manage to like become under their wing, and we pretty much just gone into a personal adventure with Navia, that we managed to form this personal connection that Farina, yes, we have seen her before, but as the traveler, we don't really interact with her as much compared to Navia. We have been there with her, but we haven't really been with her. Now, Columbina actually has that advantage because we have been together for a good part of the Archon quest, minus like 1 or 2 other sections, but again, that's just a lore reason. Same thing with Kusanali, and Lauma as well has also been there with us as well. But in terms of like how personal the story ended up being, when it comes to Navia, it's just that much more effective at trying to hit the emotional beats. Like, the emotional beats ended up hitting far stronger when it comes to involving Navia compared to her, and her. So yeah, there we go. That's pretty much the tier list right here. I think a good chunk of all of that I feel regarding all these characters is, if there's a specific aesthetic that I don't fully jive with, then yeah, they just get like regulated like below. And if there's like if there's personalities, it's honestly very interesting with the way that I arranged all of this. I mean, this is pretty much like where my head is, like where like which ones do I actually find interesting, which ones do I actually have fun playing as, which personality that I've actually mold with, that I personally would vibe with. There's like a good mix of new characters and old characters that I still have a fondness over, whether it's like whether it's in the form of first love, whether it's because of the persistence of certain characters that like would never go away. And then there's the memorable characters, and then there's something that I would very much prefer to have like in a more personal setting in terms of writing, in terms of complexity and all that. I think I find it far more endearing in comparison to just having the aesthetics. I think the reason why it's as hard as it is just to make a tier list like this, especially in the time that we're given right now, is mainly down to the fact that this is a gacha game. A gacha game that has to have this many characters in one game, where it's really hard to say like which one would actually be a favorite. Because here, maybe you're a weirdo and you end up thinking that, hey, maybe Albedo is probably like one of the best characters to ever like exist, and you know what, I could see that. And there's also like a point where you could probably put Lumina in like right down over here, and that's fine too. A lot of these characters over here that there's so many characters here that there's only so little time to play and so little time to fully digest. And if this were to be arranged differently, I would also understand it too. because a lot of it is just down to preference. It's all down to like how one feels at the time. It's kind of one of the reasons why I love making these lists in the first place, and it's mainly down to the fact that you can have like all of this, and these could be arranged in a completely different order, and it's fine, just as long as it's something that you really do feel personally towards. And it's amazing that in the 6 years that we played this game, that there's like this many unique personalities, there's this many unique character archetypes. Well, not kidding, I guess not necessarily archetypes, because some of them do fulfill a specific role, but all I'm saying is they have this many characters, and maybe with the exception of a Prune, there's not that many characters where I could say that's a copy paste of one character, that's another copy paste of another, because aesthetically and personally speaking, even gameplay wise, they act all differently. You could say functionally they're the same, but you can't say that the gameplay wise they're all the same. No two characters, again, aside from Prune, that they look the same. And you know what? I think by the time that I do end up uploading this, we're just in the cusp of Snezhnaya, and only God knows if my opinions were to ever change from here on out, or whenever we get Genshin 2 or whatever. I'm definitely satisfied with this list right here. So let me just go and there we go.